To say a few words today about self-empowerment. And as you can imagine, I'm very passionate about self-empowerment, and I'm very passionate about helping other people in their own empowerment as well, and personal development walk. And so I want to say a few things today about personal empowerment in general, so that people are aware of what personal empowerment really is. And one of the keys to understanding where personal empowerment comes from is to understand that ideally it comes from our authentic inner core. In other words, it comes from our internal sense of self. It doesn't come generally from out there. And so, personal empowerment is an internal process. It's an internal locus of control rather than an external one. And so we need to understand that if we want to achieve authentic personal power, rather than power that's taken from other people or other situations, or from roles, or from positions that we may have been placed in. And so, authentic personal power comes from within, from our inner core. And this means that when we have an internal locus of control, we have a firmer foundation for our own self-empowerment, which is a good basis for our personal development in general. And personal empowerment also helps us in other areas. For instance, it can help raise self-esteem. It can help our self-confidence to grow and be maintained. And it can also help us to be assertive and to be authentic in our relationship with others. Because when we have an internal sense of personal power, we are less likely to need the validation and affirmation of other people and roles and materialism to support our inner sense of self, because we already have a strong sense of self based on self-love and based on personal empowerment through an internal locus of control. And so, that is a very important personal development tip to understand as far as self-empowerment is concerned, because it means that we can generate that internal locus control and internal sense of empowerment ourselves. We don't necessarily need to learn it from anywhere else. Once we understand that reconnecting with that inner core will build our personal sense of empowerment, we can do our inner work on ourselves. And we can support that, importantly, with self-love, which also builds personal empowerment. And people who are authentically empowered from within have less of a need to pull others down, and have less of a need to have control over other people and situations, because their happiness and their sense of empowerment comes from within, and they know that it's generated from within. And so I wanted to just leave that with you today as one tip regarding our own personal self-empowerment is concerned. So I hope that's helpful. And as always, stay safe and happy. Bye-bye.